What's going on, boys and girls? It's your boy Travis Stevens, VFL and former Tampa Bay Buccaneers, checking in with my man BVD on BVD TV. And like my man BVD says, go Vols, screw y'all.
Touchdown, Big On!
All right, so first thing off the rip, we know Florida was terrible, Coach. Not what any of us wanted, but you always got to look at the good things. What'd you think about the boobies?
It's not the big things, and those are big things, don't get me wrong.
Okay, so look, everything was awful, the offensive line, the defensive line. But again, there were some really hot women at the Swamp. Did you prefer looking at the front end or the back end?
But it's the subtle details in everything that we're doing, and, you know, everybody can't take their turn of being off.
Well, let's move on from Florida, or should we not? I don't know what to do here. I'm going to let you dictate the way this goes. When you're doing the hokey pokey out there, trying to figure out what to do next, what do you got to do next?
We're fully capable. We need to take a step forward quickly.
God, I hate to do this, Coach, but the people keep asking about the women. You know, I know you guys weren't playing football the whole time you were in Florida. What were you doing with all those great-looking women down there?
Probably we didn't rotate the way we anticipated.
Look, if you need to pick your nose, Coach, go ahead and do it. It ain't going to upset me. Mincy, he's had some troubles lately. Was it drugs? Was it theft? I mean, what's going on with him?
He was able to get outside of the pocket where we don't keep a contain on it.
In the pre-Florida press conference, I spoke to you about the women, and you brought up gap control. How did that work out with the women?
Guys are like not completely out of their gap, but their eyes are caught in the wrong spot for a split second. They're a step and a half behind, and you give up a vertical seam. Look,
Coach, I appreciate you bringing me in by myself to do these interviews, but sometimes I'm in here with all the other guys. What do you think about the way this room is lined up?
Guys up front got to be better too.
Okay, I don't like talking about this, but, you know, we talked about it last week. Some of the Florida players may or may not have drug problems. They brought up a white line. Look, we don't like to talk about this in college football, but did you catch any Florida players using drugs?
The needle has moved on some of it. Some of it from week 2 to week 3 didn't completely get cleaned up.
Coach, do you think you could just stand there and give me some weird looks for just a minute? So far, this team is not looking its best. Nothing like last year. What do you guys have to do off the field as a bunch of sexy playboys to ramp things up?
Need to ramp it up, I guess.
Hey, look, pregame meals can be rough sometimes. Some of these players can't stomach the food and they have to pick their nose. What was the pregame meal like before Florida?
You know, the pick, we can't just throw it up.
Coach, I'm going to take a deep breath and think about the next few questions I'm going to ask. In the meantime, just stand there and look goofy and maybe even grin.
Yeah.
Is UTSA any good?
This is a really good football team that's coming in Neyland on Saturday.
What do guys like me that don't have a girlfriend need to do with their personal time?
Like, you can't beat yourself.
Well, you remember the old show, I Love Lucy? Ricky Ricardo used to play football. Should we have played him Saturday?
Ricky went in the ball game. He's somebody that is continuing to gain trust.
Us YouTubers love football. Some of us used to play, but we've all lost our eligibility. Do you think that guy, Uncle Lou, who's a big Georgia fan, could still play?
I said it to him today. We need him to grow quickly.
When teams like Florida bend you over and spank you on the how does it feel?
The first thing is it better hurt and better matter.
How long does it hurt?
Yesterday and today.
Coach, again, yeah, these women, sometimes you don't put it where it's supposed to be. What happened Saturday night?
There were a couple times where we got out of our gap. And when I say out of our gap, not that we're completely missing our gap, just we're behind.
Okay, I'm just going to leave it right there, Coach. I'll see you next week, buddy. Have a good one.
Thank you. Have a great afternoon.